2 times 7, that's 14. So it's 14 contestants for the pageant. Yes. Thank you.
Will it be annually?
Yeah, it will be annually because
of Women Journalists Association, and here I am assisting a sister and a colleague, a sister by force. And as we all know, Biddy's promotion has been into fashion for the longest time, and she started way back with Miss High School, right? And I went to Face of Beauty Gambia, and then apparently to having a license to do Miss Gambia. So in 2022, precisely the 10th of June, the former Minister for Tourism and Culture, Ahmad Ba, actually launched the Miss Gambia again, in partnership with the National Center for Arts and Culture and the Gambia Fashion Designers Association, together with Ida Bidwell, known as Biddy's promotion, and this happened one-off. And last year there was no Miss Gambia, that was in 2022 December, and in 2023 there was no Miss Gambia, and we are in 2024. The reason why we're having this press conference is that Miss Gambia is coming back, and it's here to stay for sustainability purpose, for the fact that it's not just a beauty contest for Gambian women, but it's to showcase Gambian culture, tradition, and display talent and education in excellence, for the fact that there has been transition in beauty pageantry, and beauty is not just the focus anymore. The focus is competence, the focus is intelligence, the focus is cultural display, the focus is education. And that being said, Miss Gambia 2024 is ready to set stage, and more details would be elaborated, of course, by the CEO who's here, and we have the winner for the first edition of Miss Gambia after a long break, Miss Glorious Njai, and we have Mr. Francis Lee Timboch and Mrs. Mati Job Manka, that works for National Center for Arts and Culture, who's here in sitting in the capacity of National Center for Arts and Culture, and we have Abu Jabi, the production manager for Miss Gambia, and also Lamin Sar, part of the team as well. And I'd like to recognize the members of Miss Gambia 2024, although the entire team is not here, but ICE is here, known as ICE2, Job, and of course, yeah, she's so delighted to Job. We have, of course, the most energetic girl currently in terms of entertainment and events, especially on stage management and production, and also a staff of State of Mike, the Gambia. And I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the press. I mean, there's no press conference without the press. There's no successful event without the press. And I will ensure, and I will insist, I will emphasize and encourage all partners here, from the National Center for Arts and Culture to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and of course Biddy's promotion, to prioritize visibility and media interactions and rapport for a successful event, not just to invite press on for press conferences, but to prioritize them as the most important pillar of everything they want to do as part of this activity, because with the press a lot is possible. So that being said and done, what I'll do is hand over to Lamin Sar, who would do us a brief welcoming remarks on behalf of Biddy's promotion. And for the record, this year, Miss Gambia is exclusively, entirely Biddy's promotion in collaboration with the National Center for Arts and Culture exclusively. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Lamin Sar, and I would like to acknowledge the presence of Ida Bidwell, CEO of Biddy's promotion, and Mati Job, who is from NCAC, and all the respected colleagues that are available here today. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of all the press that are available today, like my sister rightly mentioned. You know, there cannot be a successful event without the press. There's nothing that you can do, you know, with regards to events, with regards to, you know, event planning or organizing without the press. For that, I would like to acknowledge your presence and say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. I'm sure my sister Ida Bidwell, who is the CEO of Biddy's Promotion, would delve into everything that regards Miss Gambia. But in a nutshell, I would just want to welcome everyone on board and say a very big thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. First off, I would like to say thank you very much to each and every one of you for coming. A very big thank you to Miss Glorious for finding time to come here because she's very busy. Uncle Liti, thank you very much for coming. And to all the press that made it through, we really appreciate you coming. Miss Gambia is not a small platform. And this right here is more of like a dream come true because I started doing beauty pageant since 2007 from Miss Inter High School's beauty pageant. And then I was part of the organizing committee for beauty pageant under the National Center for Arts and Culture. Through then I had a passion because I've always loved to see Miss Gambia come back. Following the Miss Gambia previously with Miss Amifai, the rest of them, and knowing that that pageant has been dormant for a very long time, I decided to come with Face of Beauty Gambia, where I always have the winners represent the Gambia on international platforms. The aim was to make sure that I showcase the talent of young, beautiful girls who are not just beautiful but also level-headed, and they have what it takes to represent the Gambia. Because if you look at other countries outside, they usually focus on fashion and pageant. But when it comes to Gambia, it's like everything is just slow. So I decided to come up with Face of Beauty Gambia to make sure that we have young people represent international platforms like every other country. But unfortunately, we were not getting all the motivation that we needed. To be very honest, the struggle was really extremely bad. But we didn't give up. Myself and my team, I just really have to give it up to each and every one of my team members because one head really can do a lot of things. I can't just give credit to myself alone because I had a very strong team who are behind me and have always been there for me. Whether we have a successful event or not, they're always there. So we had a dream. And the dream is not just to be organizing beauty pageants and making profit out of it. Most people, usually, when they come to our events, they see a lot of people come in and they think we're making a lot of money out of it, but only God knows our struggles and the things that we've been through. So on that note, I would love to thank my team members for being solid and being so supportive, and they haven't given up at all. So far, we decided to get to the Ministry of Tourism and Culture. I think I started trying to get the Miss Gambia license since 2018. Yes. Unfortunately, it's been very stressful. It hasn't been easy at all. Just for the simple fact that they wanted to be sure, because when it comes to Miss Gambia, everything has to be consistent. On that note, I would also like to thank Mati Job, because he's on the National Center for Arts and Culture, but to be very honest, she's been so supportive, because every single time I'll call her to seek advice, and she always will share some advice and motivation, and also will lead me to a way of making sure that I get things right. In a nutshell, I would also like to thank Mr. Litimboch, because since we started doing pageantry, from Face of Beauty Gambia down to when we had the license for Miss Gambia, he has been so super supportive. And whatever it is that we do, we seek his advice, and he makes sure that he leads us through, because he's one of the great pillars when it comes to fashion and beauty pageants. From the government's, is it production? Mr. George Gomez, may his soul rest in peace. These are people that have, paved ways for us. We definitely cannot do this without them. So because of that, he's been behind us all throughout the journey. So fortunately for us, let me just summarize everything. We got the license from the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, but then because Biddy's Promotion is a private body, we had to collaborate with a public institution. or an association. So they had a list, and then we checked on the list, and then we decided to partner with the Association for Fashion Designers. So I would also like to thank them for collaborating with us in 2022. Yes, and that was a very good event. It was successful, and that's when we crowned the winner, Miss Glorious, who also traveled out to represent the Gambia. So on a nutshell, we are planning on doing the Miss Gambia December 21st. The venue we are working on, we already had everything booked for, but we can't really expose the venue as of now because we have to verify certain things first. But everything at this point, when it comes to production, we already started, and we're working on having the auditions from the end of July. So everything, we already have a sort of like a plan which we are working towards, making sure that this year's production and everything inclusive will be extremely successful. That's the reason why we decided to start ahead of time and make sure that everything is done accordingly. So this press conference is very important to us because, like I said, you guys are the media, and when it comes to events like this, we definitely cannot do anything without involving you guys. So on that point, I know for a fact later on you guys will ask certain questions that you want us to clear. So without boring you with a lot of so many other things, I think we can get through with it.
Okay, so and what we do now is skip Mati and move to Miss Gambia.
Good evening, members of the press and members of the High Table. I am excited to be here and to witness the first press conference for the upcoming Miss Gambia 2024. As the reigning Miss Gambia, it has been a year plus, and I'm super grateful for all the opportunities and blessings that the title came with. Firstly, it has not been an easy journey to hold a title as big as Miss Gambia, because a lot of people, when I just won Miss Gambia, a lot of people would always tell me, oh, we've had experiences with other Miss Gambia and we've seen how things turned out. So for you, it's like everybody's just looking at you to make sure that you become the best and hold the title well so that it continues. And that has been one of the biggest challenges I think I've had, because anything I'm doing, I would always think about the title that I carry, and I would always want to leave a good mark or a good name for the next person that will take over me, and that the person would do even greater than I have done. I have represented Gambia twice with this title, in Nigeria for the Miss Tourism Africa and Miss Tourism World in China. The experiences were amazing, to be able to represent your country as the title holder, and also the meeting other queens from other countries, learning different cultures, interacting, seeing different places. It has been such a blessing. So I would just encourage every young girl out there that has a dream to represent Gambia internationally to come out and audition for the Miss Gambia regionals and make it for the regionals for the finals as well. So I just want to encourage everybody to just come out and give it a try. Do not be afraid. Just come out and do your best, and I believe that the best lady will win and take over me. Thank you.
Well, I would like to say congratulations to Biddy's promotion for putting up this press conference. Actually, Ida Bidwell is somebody that you cannot say no to, because she's very determined, very stubborn, very passionate. She's somebody that I think if we have 10 of Ida Bidwells, then this beauty pageants that we normally organize yearly will go a long way. I have seen her work so hard. I have seen her passion in this field, I have been part of her journey. I started with Ida Bidwell way back in 2010 when we started the Gambia Youth Actors Association. And one thing I can tell you for sure about Ida Bidwell is that she's very passionate about what she does, and she believes it so much. She is not only passionate about Miss Gambia or beauty or pageantry, no. She is also concerned about the whole, beauty pageants that take place in the country. Every time she sees something, she always tells me, Mati, this is happening. I remember in 2010 with Uncle Mboch here, the late George Gomez, we set up the Standing Committee on Beauty Pageants, and Ida was one of the most active members. Left to her alone, that committee will still be up and standing. But unfortunately, things in this country can be so frustrating at times that you just have to give up. Now, about the Miss Gambia, this was something that Ida had wanted to do for so long. Biddy's promotion has fought for so long. She has been coming to our office, knocking on our doors, seeing how best the NCAC can partner, seeing how best we can resurrect the Miss Gambia. Because I think the last time we held the Miss Gambia before the 2022 edition was 10 years or 15 years ago, way before that. 20 years, wow. 2021, wow. So you see that there was a big gap, 21 years. So there was a big gap, and that gap, she felt that, something needed to be done, and she was on her feet, knocking on our doors, coming to our office, trying to get the NCAC. I know it was very frustrating for her. Sometimes, she even comes to the office, I run and hides just to avoid her. But at the end of the day, she had fought for something that she really believed in, because for her, it's about engaging the young people. For her, it was about, making sure the young people are not frustrated, are not depressed. They are at least, they are at least given that platform or that opportunity where they can engage themselves. Right now, we have the issue of backway, we have the issue of kush, we have the issue of drugs and all of that. And I think one of her main aim of doing this beauty pageant was always to engage and discourage young people from engaging in such practices that will ruin them, that will ruin their lives. So Ida is doing the work that the government should have been doing. So I think the government and every other stakeholder should be willing and ready to support her. That is why we at the National Center for Arts and Culture is not only supporting Ida Bidwell by, saying we are supporting you, but we will also make sure that other stakeholders as well as other government institutions come on board to make sure we have a successful Miss Gambia. Because one thing we're going to sell to them is, look, this kush is killing a lot. This backway is killing a lot. Even women, sometimes you read in the news, you see young people as young as 15, as young as 16. Why? Because they believe that there is nothing that they can do here. So there's a better life for them outside the country. So why not engage them in such events? This is one way that the government can engage these young people. And I think with this, we can definitely see how best we can work this together to make it a success. Because if you take your time to organize regional contests, I think you are engaging. I think you are at least taking people off, trying to get them involved in something for the time being. At least that is a distraction for them, which I think the government should hold dearly, and which I think the government should come and support 100%. The National Center for Arts and Culture will be with Ida Bidwell all the way. We're not only going to see how best we are going to support her financially, but we're going to see how best we can support her morally. We can see how best we can support her in any way we can. It is not only the National Center for Arts and Culture, it will also be the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, as well as our satellite institution, that is the Gambia Tourism Board and Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute. So all of these institutions need to come together. We work with these institutions. We will make sure that we support the Miss Gambia. And we want to say kudos. We want to say well done. We want to say we are proud of you. We want to say, Ida Bidwell, we see what you're doing. And we want to say, and we want to assure you that you have our support. No matter how tough, I know it can be frustrating because me, myself, I've given up on organizing events in this country because I don't want to go through that stress. I don't want to go through that frustration. But you have not given up. You have been more than determined, more than ever. So we're going to make sure together we fulfill that desire, that passion that you have in you to make sure that this Miss Gambia is successfully held, which will be 21st of December 2024. So on behalf of the National Center for Arts and Culture, on behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. Actually, we just added the Arts and Culture last week. That's why I'm straining myself to say it. So on behalf of this institution, I just want to say that you have our support. We will support you all the way. We will make sure that you get what you want, and we will make sure that we all have a happy smile, we all have a happy face. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Abu Jabi. I am the creative director and head of production for Biddy's Promotion, and also co-produced the Miss Gambia pageant in 2022, after 21 years of existence when Astunya was crowned in 2001. So the production this year is going to be hectic on us because it is something that we have been working on for the past years, because as we all know, 2023, we did not organize the Miss Gambia pageant. So 2024 is a year that we should really show the world that Gambia also has the capabilities to organize not only a good pageant, but the best pageant in the sub-region. The auditions for this year's pageant will be end of July. We will be going to every region from Banjul to URR to do auditions. So we will be sending out the auditions criteria and everything that young girls needs to know for this year's pageant. Then after the auditions, we will also do the semi-finals, where every young lady who qualified to at the auditions will also partake at the semi-finals to finally choose the two queens that will represent their respective regions in the finals on the 21st of December 2024. So this year's pageant will be a little bit different from the last one, which was in 2022, as we introduce a new thing, which is a surprise, which is going to be a surprise to the public, but the girls will be coming here in Combo at least 3 weeks before the pageant to be lodged in a local hotel. And as of that, they will be trained and coached on their stage presence, their elegance, how they'll comport themselves in public, and also not only that, but the production itself that day, from the catwalk to their talent display to eloquence training and sort of. So these are things that we are really planning to do. And also, it is not going to be just on the day of the pageant. The competition starts right at the beginning of the campaign, because we will be having some mini competitions among themselves that they will be doing, from head-to-head challenges to TV interviews, where the judges will actually know their real queen and also know who comports themselves well before the day of the event. So this is an update that Biddy's Promotion has for you in terms of production, and more updates will be coming up, inshallah, very soon. Thank you so much.
Protocol mentioned by the previous speakers, and it's a pleasure to be here with you all. I've been with Ida Bidwell, Biddy's Promotion, I've lost count. And when they were talking about the Lady Scorpions, about when they say Dembejeh, I think that title should be given to Ida Bidwell. Defde Dembejeh. You know, when she dresses up last minute at the program and still walking around bare feet, right now making sure everything is happening backstage, you know she's engaged. Difficulty of being one of the last speakers, that most of what I want to say has been said already, but I'll just add a few things. And I'd like to commend also National Center for Arts and Culture with Mati. We've worked together for many, many years. And I commend her also for her tenacity, just like Ida, because you can easily get frustrated and walk away, because if it's just money alone, I think most of us would be doing other things, you know. But it's just their belief in, it's not how much money you make, but in life, at the end of the day, you count how many lives you have impacted. And that's the whole idea about the Miss Gambia. How many lives have you impacted? You know, because at the end of the day, you impact one life, you're impacting thousands of lives, because you don't know what that life is going to deliver at the end of the day. Unfortunately, in this country, we have to be real when we say that this country does not take the arts seriously. You know, we all are very good at watching Nollywood and Bollywood, and these are multi-billion-dollar industries. The pageant industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry because there are so many sectors that are associated with the pageantry business. I mean, right now, as we sit at the press conference, you need a mic, you need a sound system, you need journalists, you need the papers, you have online platforms. They all have a stake in this industry. So I would like to appeal to the press to take this opportunity and also put pressure on the corporate sector to fund and support the creative arts. It's very important because, trust me, yes, I'm a construction engineer by profession, but I have a passion for beauty, fashion, and the movie industry. As one of the directors of the African Movie Academy, I can tell you the amount of lives that are impacted all over West Africa, all over Africa, by the Academy. And I think the private sector really need to be put under pressure to also understand that it's not about when an agency is bringing an artist from Senegal, that they're all running around and putting $100,000 on tables, right? They can do the same for Miss, because we know where that money is going. You know, so it's very important that we support the creative arts. Hopefully, as you always, BD Promotion, they always take it to the next level and the next level. And we should continue to support them and pray for them. And I, myself, will always be there for them. We've been on this journey since I just came from university. In 1994, we helped organize the Miss Gambia with Amisen. And we've been on it for the longest, from choreography to stage management and all of the above. I'll leave the rest for the Q&A, but that's all I had to say was, please, the press, put pressure and tell the private sector that they're all stakeholders in this journey, because if I'm not mistaken, and Mati can correct me, Miss Gambia has become a tourism product, officially a tourism product, and it's part of promoting brand Gambia around the world. So it is not a joking matter. If you see they made it a tourism product, there's a reason why. You know, it's not all about sun, sea, and sand. Because you go to Zanzibar, you have, I won't say, I like our beaches, but trust me, we have serious competition. So we have to come up with something that adds value to our sector. So with that said, I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you.
Would always question whenever we say you're not supposed to be married to be part of the Miss Gambia. The main reason why we choose that is because usually when it comes to international platforms, because automatically whoever wins will represent the Gambia on an international beauty pageant. So if you are married or you have kids, automatically you're disqualified, because the international bodies, they have their own rules and regulations. So we cannot really break that. So that's the reason why we have to be very, very specific and be clear on that part, because if we just let that one slide and you become the queen of, or the winner for Miss Gambia, definitely you cannot travel to represent the Gambia. So that's the reason why we have to be very clear on that part. Yeah.
What are you winning prizes?
Well, to be very honest, that we cannot really mention here. But last, the 2022, the winning prize was The winner was given a cash prize of 250,000, which was already presented to her. She got it. She also traveled to represent the Gambia on 2 international platforms. We also gave the first runner-up 150,000 cash, the second runner-up 100,000 cash. So this one, we are trying to get it bigger or even better. But we definitely can't say right now because, like I said, we are negotiating with our partners and nothing has been finalized yet.
With the audition dates and the telephone numbers. If any young lady is interested to compete in this year's Miss Gambia, you can just call on the numbers of the youth leaders. We have all the numbers of the youth leaders on that flyer, so you can just contact them and they will give you a clear information on how to be part of the auditions. Yeah, all the information is on that flyer. But any young Gambian that is interested, that is 28 or below, and is not married or doesn't have a child, can easily contact those numbers on the flyer, and they will automatically be part of the auditions. Thank you. Yeah.
What's the height?
There is no criteria for height.
Size?
There is no criteria for size.
So I can contest?
Yes.
Correct on SO. Pageantry, it's not just creating a platform or a safe space for young girls and boys to come and showcase their talent. We rightly mentioned, Matty mentioned about the kush issue. She also mentioned about the drug abuses, and she also mentioned about other social issues that have been circulating and really have been affecting the nation like negatively. So pageantry is also a platform where each of these participants or contestants come forward with a platform. Now, each of these platforms, some people are passionate about them because it is very personal to them. Others are passionate about them because they are social issues. Now, let's say, for instance, there is a girl out there who has something that is really dear to her because it's very personal, or she has something that she really wants the entire public, both nationally and internationally, to be aware of and be educated on. That is a social issue. Now, this is a platform where, you are going to be given an opportunity to, to delve into it, to discuss its merits, to discuss its disadvantages, to discuss how it is affecting the nation, in a very negative way. Now, the fact that you have NGOs that are here that are funding into, the FGM issue, you have the coast issue, you have the drug abuse issues, you have, and other, because people come with different platforms. So that was an event in Face of Beauty Gambia. Someone came with a platform about breakfast. You understand? Sometimes it's personal, sometimes it's a social issue. Now I think it is very important for, because there's this stigma that is attached to pageantry that I think, Gambia is lacking behind, like far behind. I think it is important to, elaborate in these things for the general public to be aware that pageantry is not just about beauty and brains per se, but it's also about, national issues, issues that are affecting both nationally, internationally, socially, religiously, or even economically. You understand? Yeah, so I would like to thank you.